And this is going to be my last video in my Trends to Avoid series that I'm doing. It is Roots South Africa, and let's get into it. This is my everything green episode, and these are things that I'm trying to avoid. These are things that I think we need to try stop doing, and these are trends that I feel like are important in that they are in the social media the whole time. So do I think that saving the earth is a great initiative? Of course, I think it's very important to try put steps forward to try decrease pollution, to better the society in general. However, I think there are a lot more pressing matters than that. I feel like people are expecting very low income people to be thinking about saving the earth when they can't even think about their next meal. It's not really a logical process that people are going through right now. Only the ultra rich can often afford the clean and healthy alternatives. And I find a lot of companies are getting a lot of backlash for not having these clean and alternative products along with perhaps even their older ranges. So you want like the best of both worlds. Sometimes you want to use the old product you were reliant on and that you knew and the brand name had developed. Then other times you want to use these green products. All that I'm saying is a lot of this green stuff is actually creating more consumerism. You are almost buying more products to do what one product used to do. It just needs to be sensical. I'm not saying it's like that in everything, but I also find products are not being properly advertised. They are not that clean. Products that are not that beneficial are being marketed as though they are the greenest thing since a tree. They are super bunny friendly, and it's not always the case. It doesn't really happen like that. It's not that, you know what I'm trying to say? They're misleading you is what I'm trying to say. And I know in my previous videos I did discuss like hydro vehicles and why are we not looking into hydro vehicles more. Obviously people don't want the petrol price to drop. If you have the whole society on water, water is cheaper. Yes, the cars themselves might be more expensive, but in the long term you are definitely going to be reducing the value of oil, and oil companies do not want you not reliant on them. So I do see some important things, but I find that the things that would actually make a difference, like an electric car, like, well, not electric here, South Africa electric is not possible, but a hydro car. If you were wondering why electric's not possible here, just Google Eskom. That is our power company. They're always on the brink of shutting down. So just to fill you in. But if you are a South African citizen, you already knew that. Water is a great solution, but like I said, they might not want you to go that way because it's going to reduce their costing. They're not going to be getting as much money in. So they're pushing certain green things, but other things they aren't pushing. And it's kind of like, where do you go? I find a lot of green products are not as lasting. They don't last as well. They probably don't clean as well. They don't, some of them feel better. I mean, in clothing wise, some of the materials are a lot more luxurious. And if we're talking that, definitely some of the clothing is of higher quality. But the price tag that you're paying for something green, when our people are not earning even remotely like enough to cover the basic grocery bills of a household, you cannot expect people to be going green for everything if you do not pay them appropriately to be able to afford the green products. And it's not like the alternatives are not there. On the market, there are still a lot of alternatives. So why would they not buy the cheaper option? I mean, everyone's looking for cheaper options. They are going to go for the cheaper option, whether it's green or whether it's not. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. And I just find that the green movement is a little bit extremist in that once you start something, it's almost like you have to redo your whole house. You can't just do one thing. You kind of start and you go through it, but it's hard to maintain. It's very difficult to upkeep buying that way for a prolonged period of time, unless if you're in a certain earning bracket. And it's not always that better. I'm just going to say I find some of the things that people have, like no chemicals, no this, no parabens, no sulfates, no, like just thinking about the hair, for instance, a lot of the like buzzwords, like no, I actually no silicones. Like sometimes I find those products work better. Like you are just paying more for a name, but the products actually work better. So you're paying for a name that's green, but the products that are cheaper sometimes work better. And now your consumers are confused because you want us to go green, but you're not actually making it affordable to go green. So what are we actually supposed to do is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think everything needs to be super green. I think the things that actually matter are the large corporations. I'm not saying that the individual households shouldn't potentially be doing the recycled. We don't recycle at all in South Africa. Our street people actually recycle for us. They'll come in, dig in your garbage and separate your bags, and they'll take it to get recycled. But we don't actually do proper recycling, which is something the government should probably look into, but they're too busy doing whatever they're doing. So, but what I'm saying is we don't really have those types of initiatives. But even if we did, I don't feel like it's going to make the impact that the large industries would make if they got more involved in green. And not everything has to be green. I'm just saying it. And the jobs that you would lose from the companies that are not green, is it worth the going green? Does that make sense? Let's say we all decide to switch to only green products. What about all those employees and people that are not green? What about the massive corporations that are going to have to close because now everyone's decided to go green? And I'm not saying that that should be a factor you're considering, but I'm also just saying, once again, it does seem a little bit extremist. Like one day you're expecting one thing from your citizen, the next day you're expecting another thing from your citizen, and what are we actually benefiting from it? Because we're not really. Like, it's not worth our while most of the time. So it's just something I've been thinking about. Not everything has to be green, but maybe everything in a corporation or everything in a high position should be more green. Maybe if people have a large network and a large sort of footprint, they should be actively trying to reduce. But should the average household be trying to reduce their, I don't know. I just feel as though there are a lot of more pressing matters. There are a lot more other things that are going around that are more important. Obviously, this is not inclusive of animal cruelty. Just let me put that out there. This is not the animal cruelty discussion. This is just more the chemical sourcing of ingredients. It's just more of the, like, what is the green brand actually wanting? Maybe that's what I'm saying. What are they actually wanting? I don't want animals to be hurt. Nobody wants animals to be hurt in the process of making anything. But is that what makes a product green? Is it the sourcing of materials that makes it green? There's no real regulation. Everyone can just slap a green on it and that's green. But is it truly green? And I find this is more, once again, an American thing where every product is almost green. But is it really green? Because I don't think it all is. And us in South Africa don't really mind that much because we're not in the earning brackets to mind. But I do think if as a society we ever get our stuff together and actually, you know, have a functioning and fully operational country, this is going to be one of the topics that come up. And I don't know if everything needs to be green. I just think the things that matter need to be green. The things that actually make a difference. And that people can afford it, that it's affordable. And that's what I'm going to say about that. So, thanks for watching.